A list of what? Elected. I mean, we won't have it by the time that's done, yeah.
That's all to go. Who you talking to?
Okay, council, I believe we have a quorum, and I believe the time has passed 5:30. It's 5:33. So for that purpose, the Trenton City Council reorganization meeting, January 6, 2026, is now called to order. Please stand and salute the flag.
I just got comfortable.
Pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Trenton City Council reorganization meeting for 2026 is held this January 6, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. at Trenton City Hall, 319 East State Street, Trenton, New Jersey. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brandon Garcia. I am your city clerk, and it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the 2026 reorganization meeting of the Trenton City Council. At this time, I'll read the public notice. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. This agenda is complete to the extent known and was sent to the Trenton Times, posted on the first floor bulletin board in City Hall, and filed in the city clerk's office. Formal action will be taken. And I will read the invocation this time as well. Almighty God, who holds the fate of man and nation, we most humbly beseech thee to bless this our city, these deliberations, and these thy servants, that they may act with wisdom and understanding for the good of our community and thy greater glory. Amen.
Amen.
I'll now call roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Present.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Present.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenburg.
Present.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Present.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Presente.
Councilman Harrison.
Present.
Councilwoman Williams.
Present y presente.
Myself, Brandon Garcia, Municipal Clerk, present. Mr. Edward Kologi, Legislative Counsel. Thank you. And Mr. Bridges, I believe, is excused from the meeting this evening. At this time, we will select our president. The time has come for election of a new council president. Any member of council may nominate any other member for the position of council president. If seconded, this nomination shall be voted upon by the council. If the nominee receives a majority of affirmative votes, he or she will be the new council president. If not, further nominations will be received, and if seconded, voted upon. The first nominee to receive the majority of affirmative votes shall be the new council president. I will then relinquish my seat to the new council president. And at this time, can I have a motion to open the floor for nominations?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenburg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Motion carried. Floor is open for nominations for council president.
Mr. Garcia,
Yes.
I would like to nominate Councilwoman Jenna Figueroa Kettenburg for president of City Council.
That's a nomination for Figueroa Kettenburg. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. That was a second by Feliciano, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And I will now take a roll call for that nomination. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenburg. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
That motion carried. Congratulations, Council President Figueroa Kettenburg. I will now relinquish my seat to you, Council President. Congratulations. You're gonna ask.
Yeah. Mr. Garcia, thank you very much. Moving right along, could you please continue?
And Madam President, this time, I believe we're going to go through and follow suit as we just did for the selection of vice president. And I will ask you if you want to ask for a motion to open the floor for nominations for vice president at this time.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenburg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
That's what first.
This is just to open the floor for nominations.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. And at this time, if there are any nominations for a vice president.
I'd like to place my nomination for Councilwoman Williams for vice president.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Council President Figueroa Kettenburg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
No.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Congratulations. Motion carried. Congratulations, Vice President. And Madam President, at this time, it's my understanding that the newly elected, the new leadership would like to say a few words.
Yes, that is correct. We both would like to share a few words and listen about 2 minutes.
On your call, Madam President.
Yeah. So, good evening, everybody. I didn't expect to be slightly emotional, but I guess I was. I'm honored, I'm humbled to be here in front of you guys today as the newly elected council president. As I embark on my 4th year as a councilwoman for the city of Trenton, I want to begin by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. Your trust and support have been the foundation of my journey, and I am truly grateful. Over the past few years, I have faced my share of scrutiny and challenges, as have many of us. But through it all, my commitment to serving our community has remained unwavering. Our city is wonderfully diverse, and I'm a proud representative of all of you, Hispanic, Black, white, and everything in between, as a proud woman of both Hispanic and multiracial background. I understand the importance of inclusivity and representation, and I am committed to ensuring that every voice is heard at all times, all the time. I want to acknowledge my colleagues. While we may not always agree, I appreciate the dedication and hard work that each of you have brought to the table. I also look forward to working closely with our newly elected vice president and continuing the great work of those who came before us. Together, we will strive to build on our achievements and continue moving forward. And I hope that we have learned enough from our predecessors that we will continue to be great leaders and only improve. In addition, we will focus on tackling the important issues that lie ahead, such as Trenton Waterworks, the proper sale of properties throughout the city, and addressing immigration and ICE concerns to enhance and maintain the safety of our immigrant communities. We will also support our police officers to keep our community safe and protect and support our local business owners so that they can thrive and continue to provide essential services to our community. Now I can concentrate on continuing to have focused and efficient council meetings so that we can achieve the most effective and productive work for the city of Trenton. If one thing is true and one thing is certain, We all have exhibited amazing abilities to be able to work together and move this city forward. And I look forward to leading council and continuing to do so. So I want to thank you once again for placing your trust in me, and I look forward to serving you with dedication and commitment. Thank you very much.
I'll just jump in, I guess. So thank you, Council President, and I want to also thank my colleagues for their support and this opportunity to be the Council Vice President and support Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenburg as President and our council and continuing the record of success we've had in the previous 3 years. It's an honor to be up here. It's also an honor to serve our body as the VP, and I look forward to all the challenges that come, but I also look forward to all the opportunities. Trenton is a very diverse city. Trenton's also a very welcoming city, and the work that we do up here together to make Trenton the best it can be every day in every way is why I believe we all have the great mission in our heart of trying to help every Trentonian attain whatever their wants in life are, whatever their needs in life, and make sure that the city meets the moment. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you everyone for watching online. And I look forward to working alongside our new council president. And as I said, keeping the record of success going. We've been blessed with great leadership previously. So thank you very much.
At this time, before we proceed, Mr. Garcia, I would like to thank a few electeds that are in the room this evening. Thank you, Senator Shirley Turner, for being with us as always. Thank you, Commissioners Sam Frisbee and Kathleen Lewis, for joining us this evening. Always showing your support. And thank you to Assemblywoman Verlina Reynolds Jackson, who was here and had to leave. Thank you so much. I also want to thank former Councilwoman Cordelia Staten for always being here as well. Thank you so much. Yes, and one more thing, and Garrett, who is here representing our Mercer County Executive, Dan Benson, thank you so much for being here and joining us on his behalf. Thank you. Mr. Garcia, we may proceed.
Certainly, Madam President. At this time, Madam President, if you'd like to ask for approval of the minutes of December 2nd, 2026.
Excuse me, Mr. Garcia,
Yes.
1 second. And Commissioner Terrence Stokes, thank you as well. I apologize. I didn't see you
Welcome.
back there. Thank you, sir.
On your call, Madam President.
You may proceed.
Certainly. Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of December 2nd, 2026.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Council Vice President Williams,
Yes?
and Council President Figueroa Kettenburg.
Yes.
Motion carried. And Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve communications and petitions.
May we have a motion to approve communications and petitions?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes?
and Council President Figueroa Kettenburg.
Yes.
Motion carried. And at this time, Madam President, are there any items from the resolutions this evening that you'd like to extract for any potential questions or from a potential consent agenda?
Does anybody have any items from the resolutions that you would like to question or have comment on this evening?
Hearing none.
Councilwoman Feliciano? No?
Hearing none, Madam President, if you'd like to ask for a
Council
motion to
President.
approve it,
Hold on,
Sorry, that was a
Councilwoman
little
Williams?
quicker than
Okay.
We usually do, my apology. 26003,
Okay,
thank you.
that's it?
That is it, ma'am.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. We shall proceed.
All right, thank you. So,
Councilwoman Williams?
reason I wanted to ask this about this question, Business Administrator, is we have so many properties. Recently we had a fire in an abandoned property. It's not the first one. It certainly will not be the last one. And I know we have a lot of problems getting demolitions approved, particularly with DCA and even their definition of an emergency versus what we believe is an emergency. And I think what is the reality on the ground is a lot closer to what City of Trenton believes is an emergency. I'll be respectful tonight. So I was wondering if you could talk about how that process is laying out now. As far as we're in the winter time, we have a lot of properties that unfortunately folks who are homeless or just, whatever the situation might be, do go into, need to light a fire for food or for warmth. And, what we are doing to make sure we secure properties maybe faster than we've done in the past if we can, but also what the demo process will be going forward with this resolutions assistance.
Yes, I just want to make I'm sorry, good evening, Maria Richardson, Business Administrator. Congratulations, Council President, Council Vice President. Just a small correction. I would say the back and forth regarding demolitions and our definition and the other entity is HMFA. DCA has been really supportive of any
Okay,
project.
so that's gotten better then.
Yes, and we continue to work with HMFA trying to meet their requirements. Their requirements are really heavy on the city, but we are trying to meet those requirements, understand and meet their requirements. So we continue to work with HMFA and continue to have conversations with them. This specific resolution on the docket, we are utilizing capital resources and basically because we want to be able to have those contractors on call rather than be declaring emergencies every time that we have an emergency situation. So those will be available. The process is that when we face one of those emergency demolitions, we will call all the contractors and we will utilize the one that gives us the best price at the moment. But we procure the services and selected the three lowest bidders for this specific award. To talk about fire prevention and that sort of things, I will pass it to the fire director if you allow me to do so.
All right, thank you. And I just have one additional question before he comes up. Do we have, or is there a discussion of a plan for a certain number of demolitions on the list that we already want? Like what is 2026 looking at as far as that?
Well, emergency demolitions, we really cannot have them in a list. We really need to address them immediately we are faced with the emergency. So I cannot tell you how many properties we are going to be able to demolish this year, but if we are able to get our plan approved by HMFA, there is $9 million that will be allocated for that process. The issue is that HMFA will not cover emergency demolitions. What they require is the city to have a plan that involves development of the properties. If we are going to demolish 100 properties, they want to know what are we going to do with those? And so we are in the process of developing that plan. So until we do so, I will not be able to tell you how many properties we will demolish under the HMFA funding.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yes, please, if you don't mind coming up.
BA Richardson, I'm sorry. Really quickly.
Sure.
Just kind of following up with that question really quickly, because I had a similar question to her. So I understand you really can't say how many would be emergency, but I'm sure there's many properties throughout the city that have been listed as this needs to get demolished. It is a danger. What will those properties play into, I guess, this list moving forward? Would those properties be taken into consideration, or do we need new referrals for these properties that could be demolished?
No, we right now, we know about 400 properties that we know that, because as we are preparing the plan to present to HMFA, we know that we already have about 400 properties that we have identified for demolition, but we haven't finished. So the minimum amount that we have right now is 400. For emergency that we need to, you see, an emergency is something that we need to address immediately under procurement. An emergency is something that it's going to either, that has a safety component or a health-related component, right? So if there is a safety issue that we know that property might collapse within 24 hours, that is an emergency. If it's something that is condemned by the technical unit, but they will let us know this can wait for 2-3 months and we can procure it. But emergency is just we need to do it right away, 24, 48 hours top, right? So, and that kind, I cannot give you a number. This specific contract on the docket today is to address those emergencies, because we know that they are going to happen. So we want to be able to, instead of coming afterwards and saying we had an emergency, we want to be able to have the contractors on call and just go ahead and do it the proper way.
Okay, thank you. And one more question. With regards to the hourly rates and labor and materials that are listed for the people who the companies who put in bids, I noticed that Carroll Group is at a significantly lower rate along with Fowler's in relation to the other ones. Does that have anything to do with prior contract with the city, or is there anything with, because I mean the rate of $160 for Carroll Group, $195 for Vollers versus $5,000, $2,000 for the other groups? Is there anything that we could say publicly that differentiated them as to why those numbers are so distinct?
Not really. People sometimes they send numbers that don't even make any sense. We have worked with many of the contractors. One of the things about procurement is that we cannot negotiate the prices. So when we put a bid out, and then you see numbers like that, right? You cannot negotiate. You basically accept the numbers. But I cannot tell you that it's because they have worked with us or not. Yes, we have done a lot of projects with at least 3 of the companies that submitted bids.
Okay. Thank you, BA.
Thank you. And just for clarification, when we face an emergency, right, what we will do is we will contact all 3 and try to get a price for the project. And then we will use whatever is more convenient or whoever is available, because sometimes the one that will give us the best price is not available or not responsive at the moment.
Okay, thank you so much, BA.
Sure.
Any other questions from my colleagues? Okay, Council Vice President, consent?
Oh, actually, I just have a question for Director Douglas.
Oh.
Thank you.
Good evening, Kenneth Douglas, Director of Fire and Emergency Services.
Hey, Director, thank you for coming up. I just had another question regarding, in some locations, we've had fires where I know particularly if it's privately owned, that the insurance has to get involved with determining when the structure can come down, if it needs to come down, et cetera. But what is our process if the fire department says this is uninhabitable, this is dangerous? that would supersede, I would think, what an insurance company would want to wait for because it's
Yes.
an endanger to the community. But can you just talk a little bit about that process, just so people know how that works out, and when they see a burned out property, because I've had constituents, I imagine my colleagues have come up and say, like, why is the city not taking that property down? Like, there's one on Lamberton Street that was a fire when we first all got on the council together, and it's privately owned, so it's been very difficult for the city to make something happen.
Well, from the fire department's perspective, if we had a building fire and actually deemed inhabitable in addition to a hazard to the community, as like the debris can fall on the ground or a building can partially collapse, of course, we're notified a proper division or the construction official to get a determination to raise the building, which means knock the building down so it doesn't interfere with any pedestrians walking by it. I mean, we had several properties like that, and it did happen quite immediately. If somehow that there was a building that was left intact, even though we reported it, I wouldn't have the answers to see why that building was not knocked down at the time, even though it came through the request.
Okay, but no matter what, if your department says this needs to come down, like in a couple days, as the embers are done, that would be the final decision, no matter what happens.
Well, the structural integrity still have to be identified. I mean,
Yes,
just
okay.
from the facade, the front is really not going to tell if the interior is suitable that it won't collapse. It still has to go through that part. I mean, just looking at it from outside, you can see like, wow, that needs to be knocked down because it looks terrible. But if the beams and the structure that really holds the property up is still solid, it's not burnt through, like in some houses, you can see they probably partially collapsed inside. It may be a chance that property made it look burnt really bad, but the interior of the property probably isn't.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Consent, please.
Thank you.
Council President, may
Yes.
I add something? There are instances where our subcode officials are able to, or they actually have the authority to deem any structure unsafe, even if it's private, and then we can proceed for demolition funding permitting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia, we could proceed.
Certainly, Madam President. Excuse me. Certainly, Madam President. If there are no other additional questions, then you can ask for a motion to approve a consent agenda consisting of resolutions 26001, 26012, 26002, 003, 004, 005, 006, 007, 008, 011, 09, and 26-10.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Figueroa Kettenburg.
Yes.
Motion carried. And moving on to ordinances for first reading and introduction. Madam President, shall I proceed?
I'd like to make comment on this before we proceed.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'd like to make, thank you. Ordinance 26-001, it was brought to, the administration had brought it forward to be introduced prior to tonight's meeting, as I understand. But additionally, as I understand, there is scheduled a presentation that will discuss the rate increase on the 20th of January. With that, I'm sure my council colleagues do have questions. However, I would like to motion that this be tabled until the next meeting so that our council colleagues can hear the presentation on the 20th ahead of this ordinance being introduced for first reading and then second reading to follow.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call. Councilwoman Edwards,
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
and Council President Figueroa Kettenburg.
Yes.
Item is tabled until the next public meeting. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Garcia. We may proceed.
Certainly. Item is tabled until the next public meeting. At this time, Madam President, I have no other items. If we can move to public comment.
Yes, before we do that, Mr. Garcia, I would like to acknowledge Lawrence Councilwoman Patricia Farmer Hendricks, who is present with us. Thank you for joining us this evening. Mr. Garcia,
Yes.
how many public comments do we have? How many people?
For public comment this evening in total, and yes, we have one public comment this evening. We have 3 individuals listed.
Okay, let's proceed, please.
To the public comment will be 5 minutes for each individual. You may address anything that you wish. The council is not obligated to respond. First individual listed for public comment is Carlos Guerrero. Carlos Guerrero? Oh, sorry. Got it. You just want to turn on the mic. You want to press the button right here. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Good evening.
Name and address for the record.
I'm sorry?
I said, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Carlos Guerrero. Good night, everybody. I would like to address an ongoing and what I believe is a criminal activity in the city of Trenton for many years. As I was a victim of this unfortunate situation. Samay's store, located on 724 South Clinton Avenue, is running what I believe is a criminal enterprise. I have been robbed twice, 2 different situations. Called the police the first time at the location. Nothing got done about it because I had no proof of stolen items that I had stolen and appear in this location. Call again the second time because recently I was robbed again. And I was directed to a special unit and I was told to expose my concerns here as many of my friends and other business owners have bring this to my attention. Many residents of this town have been robbed. Many contractors, many work vans, many tools have disappeared from garages, from vehicles, and they all magically appear at this location and nothing can do anything about it. So the last time I spoke to an officer, he recommended I come here and say something, bring it to your attention, and see if we can do something about this because it's been going on for years. Many people here work hard for everything that we have, you know, like our tools or cars and the things that we use to work and provide for our families shouldn't wind up at a corner store for people to take advantage and for nobody to, you know, to be able to do something. So I was advised to come here and express my concerns, and I thank you guys for the opportunity to do so.
Thank you.
Council President, can you just have him leave his information for us?
Yes.
Or Jorge, maybe?
Yes, Mr. Guerrero, can you please provide your information to our clerk, Mr. Garcia? Thank you.
Letitia Peters.
Good evening. My name is Letitia Peters. My address is 1462 Stuyvesant Avenue, Trenton, New Jersey. Like Carlos was saying, we are concerned about the safety of Trentonians. Just last month, there were 11 car break-ins on Stuyvesant Avenue and Kensington Avenue. There were no detectives that was called to take fingerprints. One person was told to send in her video. What was the outcome of these 11 vehicle break-ins. If the police detectives are not coming out and getting the proof and holding people accountable, then who should we turn to? How can Trenton be a safe place if the police are just patrolling the neighborhoods and not getting out to take information from the people? How can the police be held accountable if no one is holding them accountable? What are the detectives doing? Another issue I brought to Councilwoman Tasker Frisbee was that the department was not called out when Joyce Kilmer School, there was a fire alarm in October. What was the outcome of that? We should not be waiting until a catastrophe to occur and then say, oh, we should have did that, we should have did this. We need to stop doing what we've been doing and start holding people accountable. Another question to you, Clerk Officer Garcia. What time did the clerk's office close on New Year's Eve? I thought at the city of Trenton was closed at 3 o'clock. I mean, I have questions because I don't think the city of Trenton officials are doing their job that they've been called to do. They're not holding people accountable. People are not doing their jobs. I had issues about the housing department, have issues with the police department, and I even have issues with the clerk's office. That's all I have to say. I hope things will change this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Peters.
Cordelia Staten.
Good evening, Cordelia Staten, 310 Gardner Avenue. Good evening, distinguished members of council, and congratulations to Council President Kettenburg and Vice President Williams. You know, when you guys first decided to rotate this presidency, I had a problem with it. I had a lot of reservation, but I will say that in these couple of years that you guys have served and rotated, I have seen leadership qualities in all of you. All of you have served with distinction in your roles of leadership, and I'm now looking forward to you, Jenna and Jen, to carry on that legacy. I wanted to also speak to you a little bit about the agenda, but I also, first I want to commend you on the tabling of this ordinance. There's a lot of questions about water. Too long to go into tonight, but I'm glad that you decided to see the presentation before you were made to make a decision. Never let administration pressure you to do things before you have enough information to actually hold really meaningful liberation between yourself and your colleagues, so that you're always making sure you're doing the right thing for the people. This water thing has got everybody on edge, and so it's going to be very important that you move cautiously with your decisions. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to actually ask, I see that you're going to reappoint zoning board members, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to keep a full roster for all of the existing committees that you have. And I'm hoping that the ones that were created, like the Senior Advisory Board, get some wheels under it and gets moving. I only say that because I was asked to serve. I'm anxious to do that, but I'm getting a little discouraged because nothing is happening. And that's one thing, unfortunately, people are saying nothing's happening in the city, things aren't moving. I know the intention is good. We just have to make sure that we put forth the effort and make sure that people who volunteer to serve or help you to, you know, see this mission through, that they're given the opportunity to serve. Otherwise, they won't. You know, these are volunteer positions. They're not paid. And, you know, when you can get an individual who'll donate their time, don't take it for granted. And I don't want to go past my time. I think that's In fact, I am sure. That is all I have for tonight. Again, congratulations, and thank you for your service. Our past president, now why can't I say your name? Yes, former Council President Gonzalez, you did really good. And whatever you're going to do next, I support you. And for those of you who are going to move on with the elections are coming up for at-large. And so I'm wishing all those who are going to seek re-election that you get it, because you certainly deserve it. You've done the work, which is a lot. More than I can say for the folks who are putting out Facebook posts now. And for those of you who are even going into who have higher aspirations to serve in the city, I wish you well too. Good night.
Thank you.
Madam President, those are all the individuals I have listed for public comment this evening. If you're wishing to move to anyone for civic comment.
Yes, just ahead of that, for the individuals that were here, I see there's a large population of Latino business owners here, and I'm sure many of you have the same concerns as was expressed by Mr. Guerrero and Ms. Peters. I would welcome you to speak with Director Wilson, who is here this evening. I'm sure he would have no problem, being pulled to the side just to answer any of your concerns this evening. We can proceed, Mr. Garcia.
On your call, Madam President, you may start with any individual you wish for civic comment.
Certainly. Let's start with Councilwoman Edwards.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, a Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Congratulations to Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenburg and Councilwoman Williams on their nominations and successful victory on becoming president and vice president. I look forward to, attending the meetings under your leadership, and let me know I'm here to assist in any way I can. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see all of your lovely faces and in good health, I hope. I don't have too many comments other than about Trenton Waterworks. Thank you, first of all, to Council President for motioning to table this ordinance and not to speak on behalf of council, but we all unanimously do not agree with this and with the timing of it. Me personally, the cost of living has been such an adjustment for us throughout this pandemic. As we're moving out of the pandemic, we are continuing to see interest rates and PSE&G rates doubling, since December, and then again in the summertime. I'm worried that hitting them with a 60% increase, hitting customers who are already suffering from high costs rising across food and utilities, rent, mortgages due to interest rates rising. This right here would totally cripple a lot of households. So I would suggest that we spread this out. Yes, we know rates need to go up. Yes, we know that rates have not gone up in a significant amount of time. And that is a financial hardship on Trenton Waterworks, who needs to put this money towards the repairs that we need, but not to the detriment that will cause a financial hardship to our constituency. I also, Mr. Garcia, how much time do I have left?
3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to bring up something very important to your attention. Yesterday, there was a 10 a.m. committee meeting, telecommunications and utilities, down at the State House. It's called number 5980. And for those that are savvy with looking it up, and if you're not, email me and I'll send it to you. It's a 25-page document that describes basically what would happen if we do not get our stuff together with Trenton Waterworks. This bill, if it makes it out of the Senate committee and then makes it out to vote with the Assembly and the Senate, will create a Citizens Fund Act, which establishes a trust fund for the conveyance of certain assets for the benefit of public benefit plans. In layman's terms, basically is saying that the purpose of this fund is to lessen the burdens of government by providing a fund through which a public entity may contribute, transfer, or sell its revenue-producing assets to a segregated or commingled account, AKA regionalization. This is what is happening in Assembly right now due to what's happening with our water utility. This council has done its due diligence to make sure we are properly funding this utility and advocating for the repairs, asset management plans, and what have you. And without conversation, we have assembly people that have introduced this to attempt to force regionalization on Trenton. It also says that this does not need to go for a referendum on a ballot. This says that council can vote to basically sell or transfer Trenton Waterworks into this Citizens Fund Act if we are not happy with what the administration is doing. I don't think council should make that type of decision on behalf of the entire city by themselves. We make a lot of decisions, respectfully. However, this critical asset that affects hundreds of thousands of people, I don't think that that's right. Not without due process and not without proper communication. This council was unaware. I don't want to speak for the rest of the council, but in speaking with my colleagues, this never came up and no one brought it to our attention. And from what I was told, no one from Trenton, the administration or the mayor was there, but the other municipalities were. This is a problem, and we need to pay attention to what's happening on a state level. That's all I have to say. Let that marinate, and again, if you need this, I will send it to you. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Thank you, Council President. First, I want to say congratulations to our new Council President and Council Vice President on being elected from our council colleague. I'm looking forward to working with you all throughout this year. Really quickly, because I was unable to attend the last meeting as the council president, I just had a few words that I did want to say. I was very ill. I tried to join virtually and I was dizzy, fever. The flu hit me really bad, so I wasn't here. But I want to sincerely thank my colleagues for trusting me with the responsibility to lead this body over the past year. It has been a true honor, and I want everyone to know that I tried to lead as fair and as honest as possible. I tried to make the best decisions, and I also wanted to thank our Council Vice President, former Council Vice President Edwards, for working alongside me throughout this year. Also want to take the time to thank the administration, our BA, Mr. Cherry, Garcia, Mr. K, and all of those who answered our calls and would actually listen and answer questions that we had off of the dais. So I just want to say thank you for all of your hard work and conversations that we had. I also wanted to acknowledge, I know Ms. Cordelia Staten brought it up about our boards. Rent Stabilization Board was one that I took the lead on, and I just want to give them credit because they had took the challenge on with some of our tenant and landlord issues. And as we know in the city, we have a lot of tenant and landlord issues, and they have taken that charge and have really served in excellence. So I just wanted to give them a shout out and say thank you. I love going in to see what they're doing. I was able to sit in one of the meetings, so thank you for that. I also wanted to acknowledge Trenton Housing Authority really quickly for continuing to fight for more funding so that we can make sure that the Choice Neighborhood Program does come to fruition. And I just want to say I'm proud of the work that we have accomplished as a council group together. We have done a lot. I know a lot of things are being said that the city isn't moving forward. The city hasn't done. We have done a lot in the last 4 years. And, if you guys are paying attention, we have worked really, really hard for the constituents here in the city of Trenton. I want to acknowledge all of our elected officials who are here today. Thank you. And former Councilwoman Cordelia Staten, I just want to say thank you for always, always being a positive light for us. You give us the negative, you give us the positive, you give us the real. And I just want to say that's why we admire and we look up to you so much. So thank you for that. As far as the Trenton Waterworks being tabled, thank you, Council President, for that. My understanding was we had the attorneys come in to speak to council at the last meeting, and that the understanding was the information that was provided was for us to have a better understanding as to why this was done, was being introduced, and also that we did have the rate increase presentation a few months back. And I know former Council Vice President and I at the docket review, we both had agreed that we would have the presentation. So I was under the impression that the attorneys had pretty much explained everything to council. So that was the reason why this was put on the docket for us to consider today. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, and thank you for allowing me to lead for this past year. Have a good night.
Thank you. Councilwoman Feliciano.
Thank you, Council President Figueroa Kettenburg. Congratulations. Has a nice ring to it. Congratulations to Vice President Williams. Congratulations to you. Has a great ring to it as well. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Happy New Year to you all. So let's just get right into it. Trenton Waterworks, I do want to touch it. The bill A-5980, I was on the call as well to hear, and I heard the municipalities that testified, the couple that said what they had to say. To further along what Councilwoman Edwards was saying was that in the formation of this fund, it would have 5 directors that would be appointed by the governor. It would also have an advisory board that would consist of members from the municipalities. However, they would have no voting rights or anything. The directors would not be paid. However, there would be a fund manager that would have to be procured. So what does that look like? That looks like a no from me. Councilwoman Edwards and myself put forth to this council body a resolution for the consideration of a creation of a Trenton Water Authority. And that would still leave the control in Trenton's hands, but still bring the other municipalities to the table, but we would have the majority of the say and the vote. There's also been an ordinance that was put up, but we held that back, that my council colleagues have, that explains it and breaks it down and what that looks like for the city of Trenton. I by no means am for regionalization where Trenton loses control of anything. Trenton, it's an asset of ours. It should remain with us, and we need to figure this out. When it comes to the rate increase, I'm not for the rate increase as it pertains to residents. I'm not. But here's what I would like you all to think about. What I would like you to think about is, give me 1 second. I got to find the papers so we can think together. Here we go. My water bill came, and my usage rate as a residential homeowner is 2.116, right? My usage. If we look at commercial properties throughout, they pay the same usage rate that we pay as a resident. So let's say a movie theater, a hospital, they're paying 2.116 for usage like we are. So why are we looking to increase the rate on us when there should be a separate rate for commercial properties so that we can recoup some of that money? Now, I asked the question before when the people were here talking, they were supposed to get back to me, and that's a great idea. We're going to look into it. I haven't heard anything. But if we're really going to look at this about Trenton Waterworks, then everybody has to come to the table, and you have to really think this thing through, and you have to look at it. Now, we have an ad hoc committee. I respectfully ask that when you meet, that y'all look into that and really have those discussions. The easy way out is to say, y'all go ahead and take it and let somebody else figure it out. But that's not what we hired directors and everybody to do. We hired y'all to figure it out. So we're here to work together. We don't need to lose this utility. I will recirculate again the resolution that we put forward before about the creation, the thought of the consideration of the creation of the Trenton Water Authority, for us to look at it, for us to think about it, for consideration, to see what we can do together to help move this along. I said before too, it's gonna hit the fan. I talked to the mayor about it. We here now, we ground zero. So we need to move together, and we need to be smart as to how we do this. One other thing I'd like to say is I also Went out the other day. I had got a complaint from a constituent at North Olden and East State Street. There's a big lot on the right-hand side. There's that old bank on the corner and then the liquor store over there. So the young lady was saying, give me just 1 minute. Madam President, can I just keep going for another minute? Oh, thank you. So she had a complaint about the lack of parking, and her car was hit when she parked on Olden Avenue and everything. And she was like, look, it's tight over here. You got people with 5 or 6 cars. Where can I park? What can I do? So I looked at the empty parking lot and I said, well, it's a city-owned lot. Why aren't we capitalizing on some of these lots that we have in the city and start making off-street parking for some of these people that they could park? Now, I'm not an expert at this, but I know that we done tore up a lot of streets and we done repaved some stuff. And somebody told me a word called millings, right? So we have the millings, the rubble, or whatever. Why can't we take some of that, use that on some of these lots? Let's draw the lines where we could make parking spaces, and then maybe you charge $50 a month for a space, right? So we get a little bit of money. The people can park their cars somewhere, and we can help some of these people throughout the city with this parking issue until the administration finally sits down and works to really figure out how we can address the parking that we have going on in the city of Trenton. That's my thoughts for tonight. I'm glad to see everybody once again. I wish everybody traveling mercies going home. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Good evening, and thank you, Madam President. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Councilwoman Williams on your newly appointed positions. I want to thank our outgoing president and outgoing vice president for your diligence and how you work together and work to make sure that there was inclusivity. I look forward to working with this new body, and I just want to say, first I want to say Happy New Year to everyone, and Feliz Año Nuevo to those of you, because it's not just women. So Feliz Año Nuevo to everyone. And I just want to thank everyone for coming out here this evening. It is good to see all of your faces. I hope you'll come out again when it's not reorg, but that you'll come out again and again and again. We want to hear from you. We do this for you. We're here for our community, and we want to see your faces here, and we want to hear your opinions. To the constituent who spoke earlier about the concerns, I have addressed them. Everything that is sent to me is addressed. Not always addressed. We don't get the answers that we want, but they're always being addressed. And hopefully we are going to get better. We will do better. This body, council body, has done very well. We've accomplished a great deal in these almost 4 years that we have been in these seats. And I'm proud of the work that we have done. Folks could say you could do this, that, and the other, but I tell you, if you walk around the city and you are really being honest, you will see that there's a great deal of work that is being done. We are working with our administration to make sure that things are done decency and in an order. I want to give a special thanks to our clerk, Mr. Garcia. Thank you for the work that you've done with us over not just last year, but these years. There's a lot of learning that I've gotten from you, and then I just making sure that you make sure that we have everything that we need and things are done in decency and in order. So thank you for that. And to your Mr. Jorge, who also works diligently beside you. I want to thank also our council in front of us, our city attorney, Mr. Bridges. Thank you for being here and just making sure that we are doing things so that we stay in compliance. And the same thing to our attorney, Mr. Ed Kaloji. Thank you for always taking our calls, always being responsive, even when you're on vacation. We appreciate you for never turning down our emails or our telephone calls. Thank you for that. To our police director, fire director, our business administrator, our chief of staff, thank you all for the work that you do. To our water department, to all of our directors. The job is not easy. And we know that, but we know that you're doing the best that you can. We appreciate you because we know that we're in a better position this year than we were. To our health department, I see back there, Mr. Diego, and of course to our recreation department, also Mr. Harris. We appreciate all of you. I see you, Yolanda Gonzalez. I see all of you. I appreciate all the work that you have all done. It's not easy, Mr. Semple and Raina. I appreciate each and every single last one of you for the work that you do. And for those of you who come in, even when you're not feeling your best, I appreciate you as well. I want to say, I'm going to just say, because he's my favorite commissioner in the whole world. I want to thank my husband for his support, for being out here, Mr. Commissioner Sam Frisbee. It always makes me smile to have him in the room with me. And Senator Turner, and all of our electeds, and those who are former, even my neighbors I see out this evening. It is so good to see each and every single last one of you out here this evening. Thank you for being out here. Our hope is that we will work cohesively as a council. We will continue that work, and that we will remember that we need to count to 7, not to 4, that all council feels like they are inclusive. Leadership means that sometimes we have to have hard conversations to get a better understanding and hopefully get to a resolve with one another. So it is my hope that we will have those conversations so that we can get to resolve and we can work together as a stronger body. The Water Department, I'm glad, thank you, Madam President, for tabling that. We need to get that presentation. We need to see that, get all the information so that we're not blindsided or anything, and nothing tries to get past us that should not. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm not, the rate hikes as well. We also need to work on that so that we're not overwhelming our community. We really need to work together on that. I think, Mr. Garcia, how much time do I have left?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I want to say there's going to be a flyer that's coming out, and that's going to be with the City of Trenton and the Health Department and myself. We're going to be doing something that the Ewing Department, I asked for a couple of seconds, Madam President, if that is okay. They introduced, I went to their reorg yesterday, and something that they're doing is called 250 in 250. They are doing asking our constituents, our community as a whole, to walk 250 miles in the 200. It is our 250th anniversary. So there's going to be a flyer that you're going to see coming out shortly. We're excited about that. We want you all to take involved. So I told them I was going to tell Mayor Bert Steinman, I want to acknowledge you. Thank you for the idea, and we are absolutely going to use it. But I'm not going to steal it. We are going to use it, and we're going to probably put a little different spin on it, but we appreciate that. With that, I wanted to say, I'll read a portion of our city's mission statement, which is recognizing that the people of Trenton have made us guardians of the public trust. We are committed to govern with integrity and fiscal responsibility, to seek excellence in the city's operations, and to serve all the city's people with respect and compassion. Thank you, and everyone get home safely.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Council Vice President Williams.
Thank you, Council President. First, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome, and thank you for coming tonight. When we first started 3 years ago, we still had COVID glass up here on City Council dais. So it's amazing where we've come, and I'm really proud of the progress we've made, and that you're all here and you feel comfortable coming here, because you should be comfortable coming to City Council meetings. That's important. Particularly in a day like today, which is an unfortunate anniversary of 5 years ago, on January 6th, which hopefully will never happen in our country again. You are welcome here in Trenton City Hall. It's a safe place for everybody, all Trentonians, so please keep coming to our meetings. Thank you. I just also want to thank Senator Turner for coming tonight. I know she has a very busy schedule. It means a lot always to have her with us, as well as Commissioner Stokes. Commissioner Frisbee, I know he kind of has to be here maybe a little bit, but we do appreciate your coming to be with us. And then Lawrence Councilwoman Hendricks Farmer, and Ewing Councilwoman Jennifer Keys Maloney. You may hear that, we're in a disagreement, shall we say, with some of our fellow towns here in Mercer County, but we do get along with our colleagues in other places, and I think tonight shows that. We all can get along, and we work together to try to make Mercer a great county, and Trenton and their towns good places. I want to also take a moment, because we weren't necessarily able to do it last month, to thank our outgoing president, Yasmin Ali Gonzalez, for her service last year. We went and did a lot. You kept an easy keel, a measured keel, as I've shared with you before, and that was welcome, particularly, and we are a strong council, and we work well together. And having a good president at the till is extremely important. As my dad would say, he was a Navy veteran. And I want to congratulate Council President Jenna Figueroa Kettenburg on this year, and I'm looking very much forward to working with you and continuing our success together. So I have a few comments. I agree with my colleagues regarding the boards that aren't meeting, particularly the Senior Advisory Board. That's an extremely important board in this city because we have a lot of seniors and they want to give back. And when we have a board as created, it was an awesome idea by Councilwoman Feliciano. This should be operational by now. So I'm going to issue a challenge that by the end of this month, the meeting should happen. That doesn't need to have a public notice. There's no budget that's necessary. That's already been talked about previously, but let's get this moving. We have plenty of seniors in buildings that want to have things happening. They want to have their voices heard, and we need to make Trenton a city that is particularly attentive to senior citizens. So let's make it happen, okay? By the end of the month, and we want to hear about how good the meeting was. Also, I want to announce that we're having our North Ward Citizens Police Advisory Council meeting on January 21st. It's at 5:30 until 7 at Galilee Baptist Church, 440 Martin Luther King Boulevard. This month's guest is kind of interesting. It's going to be neat. We're actually going to have some of the folks from Signal 22 with us. So I don't know if they'll be able to bring the big truck and give us cookies and hot chocolate, but we'd love to have them. We're going to have them there so they can talk about a lot of the work that they do, particularly with our fire department and at times with the police department when there are things that happen in the city, to make sure that our fire personnel have provisions, particularly the long hours they do in fighting fires and the fire side. But also you see them at a lot of events, whether it was Halloween, whether it was the Christmas parade, and they're very engaged in our community. So I think it would be a great conversation to find out what they do. There might be some folks who might want to volunteer with them. And so please come to our meeting. It's a great, productive meeting, and it's something where I think you'll all take something out of it, whether we were fortunate last month to have Raina with Public Works with us. And I think actually she had so many problems brought to her attention, about half the meeting ended up being a Public Works meeting. So with that, I want to just tend one matter to Public Works. There's a small little street, it's a cute street, has original brickwork called Wood Street that I've put in requests before to be worked on. Isles is headquartered there. There are residential apartments on that street. Believe it or not, people do live in that area for sure. The Trenton Community A team is located there, and there are adjoining streets that wood streets have passed through. And it's also, in my opinion, even with the big thick tires they have, the fire department might have some troubles back there. So I'm asking administration, make that a focus in the next couple of weeks to really look at it. I know our funds are limited for street repairs, particularly this time of year, but we need to figure out something. At least let's get through the winter. We have someone, I won't identify them, but they're in the audience tonight, who's lost 2 car tires to Wood Street, and that should not happen. But I fully expect that we'll have success there. Regarding the woodworks, my colleague said it best. I did want to say thank you to Councilwoman Edwards for
Thank you, Council Vice President. Right. 2025 was a year to be had, and here we are in 2026. I am so grateful for everybody who is here tonight. I'm so grateful for those who came out to support this reorg this evening. I look forward to really leading this council in the most prolific way possible. Again, I want to thank former council president, former council vice president for an excellent year that you guys served, and all of our predecessors. Thank you guys so much for all of the values that you all set and everything you all brought to the table that I really hope that I can hone in on and focus on and just continue to let council be the greatest that it can be. We have so many hard decisions coming before us in this coming year. And it's going to take a village, literally. It's going to take all of us to put our heads together, to really focus, to do our research. Tabling this ordinance for the ratables is nothing more than we just need more time. This is a very, very important decision that we all need to make. And I'll speak for myself. Yes, we did have a meeting with the attorneys. I don't think that I came out of that meeting with proficient or profound answers that I can make a sound decision moving forward. So I do want us to hear everything and have enough time to be able to make this decision because it will affect all of us essentially. I really just want to thank everybody, as my colleagues already did, all of our directors. You guys are doing a great job. I look forward to improving where we need improvement, to being able to listen to one another so that we can move forward and meet the needs of the residents of this city as we are supposed to do. That is all we ask on a day-to-day basis. So I hope that you guys have open minds and open hearts as we give you guys suggestions on what we think would be better and better serve the community and all of us as a whole. To our city law director, Mr. Bridges, thank you for your time and counsel. To our council attorney, Mr. Kaloji, thank you as well for answering all of council's questions and giving us best case scenario to make sure that everybody is benefiting and we are making sound decisions. Clerk Garcia, thank you as well. I look forward to working with you in the year to come to keep this working the way that it should work. And I really do hope that with all my colleagues, thank you again for your support and your vote of confidence. I really do hope that, I serve you all well moving forward into the new year. With that being said, I would like to yield the rest of my time and invite Director Wilson up here to address the residents who had addressed concerns about burglaries. Director Wilson?
2 minutes left.
I'll be quick. Steve Wilson, Police Director. The first person that came up, he mentioned that they're being robbed. What he's talking about is thefts from auto. The location he's talking about is one of many pawn shops that we have in the city. And that one in particular legally operates. But if he has any information in regards to illegal activity, I'd like to have it and have our Criminal Investigation Bureau look at it. The second person from west on Stuyvesant Avenue is also talking about thefts from auto, and our patrol officers are trained as evidence technicians. That's why a detective doesn't come out there and dust for fingerprints, because the patrol officers would do that when it's warranted. And our Detective Bureau does follow up on that.
Thank you for addressing us, Dr. Wilson. Thank you.
Thank you.
With that being said, I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you all again for coming out, all of our electeds for joining us here in the city of Trenton. And I hope that we can all collectively work together as we formulate sound decisions. So thank you all. Get home safe and have a wonderful evening.
Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to adjourn.
May we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Councilwoman Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Excuse me, Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison is gone.
He left.
Vice President Williams
Yes?
and Council President Figueroa Kettenburg.
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.